All right, hi everybody. Hell's Paradise time. Episode 11, Weak and Strong. Now, majority of this episode does take place with two sides, and only two sides. We have Chobe, this guy, I just call him the Bakugo guy, Chobe. Chobe, and going down to see the name. Chobe and his brother Toma. So Chobe and Toma, they're fighting what is known as the Doshi. So they're fighting against Doshi B. Later on, we see Gabimaru and his group fighting Doshi A. Right, Doshi A. Now, let's start with Chobe. Now, what ends on happening in this episode, it has to do with Tao. Tao well, actually, if we're being very blunt here, Tao can be interpreted in many ways. For example, I know I've made this reference last week. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Good old Iroh. I don't want to go too much into this, but there's a scene in The Last Airbender where he's teaching Zuko how to redirect lightning. And he references his stomach, his navel. And he's like, a vast ocean. You know? But he's talking about chi. But in some way, chi and Tao, I don't know, could be same, could be different. Regardless, they do find out, they do say in this episode, and I believe it was last week too, that the navel area is where the weakness is for people who use Tao. Now, Chobe, surprisingly enough, starts using Tao. There's even a scene where this Doshi almost, it looks like he got a killing blow on Chobe, right in his neck. And he's like, Nissan, trying to kill those things that are attacking him. And he gets up. Surprisingly enough, he's adapting. He realizes what Tao is, he's able to sense it, and he's able to use it. Beats the living shit out of this Doshi guy. And that's basically what transpires. But we do see on his body these purple vines. You can interpret it that way. And this, don't know if it means that using Tao for him is going to change him and lose his humanity. It might. That at least what it seems like in this juncture. Because his brother's looking at him and his face looks almost deteriorated. We also get a flashback when they were younger and he cut his eye or something with these bandits. But at least to say they have the upper hand and they're able to defeat this Doshi. And they're supposedly going to tie him up and get information from him. And they're taking out everyone that was there. Now, learning Tao does give them a leg up. Because if they know Tao, logistically they have the ability then to fight the Tenzin on equal ground. So that, I think, is par the course. After this fight's over, we go to Gabimaru's group. Now, we find out a little bit more that's not really something I want to talk about. The Doshi what's his Doshier? Doshier. And this other dude that's with him. That's a Doshi. They control insects. And he tries, as they're defeating these things that are around, May keeps saying strong, weak. And then, she says to the Dragon of the Blade, you're strong, strong. God knows, strong, strong. What they're referencing is you need a strong mind and a weak mind to use Tao. That was the whole gist. Now, they end up fighting these things, and one of the guys, this Doshi, he grabs Mai and wants to bring her back to Horai, where the Tenzin are. She was excommunicado? John Wick reference. Kind of. And they basically gave her a choice whether to die as a dog or to train at the palace. And they want to bring her back. There's one little thing that this guy mentions that's not really something you want to talk about. So, May obviously is a Tenzin. It's revealed in this episode that she's a Tenzin. Now, in order to develop Tao to a higher level, I forgot the name they were saying about it, you need to have sex. And they want to do this with May. Yeah, we're not going there. And neither is Gabimaru. Because the moment he hears this, he goes, it's time to kill some bastards. But logistically, it's not a good look when they explain this to him. Now, what ends up happening is the two Doshi transform into different things. One's a butterfly guy, and one's a centipede guy. So, during this outcome, Fushi, who's there too, speaks up and has Mai touch Gabimaru. And when she does that, he goes back and thinks about everything that's transpired, and he begins to realize what she meant. He thinks about Sagiri and everything in between. Then he understands it. And he's able to use Tao and predict Tao. So he's able to fight these guys on a level playing field. The fight's pretty awesome, for the course. He's dodging their attacks. He's, using Tao to a good extent. There's this scene where the guy's a centipede. He's got his fist coming in, and he just touches it all so slightly and just blows it off. So, Gabriel can use it now. He's able to take out this guy, and he's going to ask him questions and so on and so forth. They obviously are not going to handle that very well, and they try to attack them again. Gabimaru and the Dragon of the Sword, they take him out. It's like easy peasy lemon squeezy here. And they take him out. Overall, I thought this was an interesting episode. The ending to me is like, After this happens, and we see other people, and they're basically stating that there's one other Doshi, I think it was 3. Him, this other dude, and the one I think, what's his face, took care of. Dobe. Or Dobe? No? Jobe? So those are the 3. But now that we've established that, and they have to move on forward. But then we go to Sagiri's group. Listen, no offense to this guy who looks like Groot. And he does. Why the hell are you bringing them to Horai? You know, where the Tenzin are? That's the final scene. He brings them to Horai through the palace gate, and oh, there's Horai right in front of them. It's a Tenzin. This guy's name, if I can find it. Kneel down. Mudan. So Mudan's there. He cuts off Hoku, the tree guy, cuts his head off. I'm like, okay, so we're doing this now. Because as far as I'm concerned, all three of the people that are there, that call Sugiri, what's her, and the other ninja, and the other executioner, all three of them are dead. I'm calling it right now. They're in no way, shape, or form getting out of this alive. At all. And I'm like, so you guys are just going to not look for Gabimaru and you can go straight there? Well, any plan at all? That last scene just made me go like, wow, you guys really want to kill yourselves, don't you? At least to say that scene kind of made me go like, do a double take. And thought to myself, okay, that was completely freaking pointless. But the good side here, see, this is a good and bad. The bad is they went there and they're going to get one shot here. The good side of it is that now Gabimaru can use Tao, and so can Chobei. So the more people who can use Tao, the better off you're going to be. So I would say, yeah, he's probably going to be able to beat them now. At least they have a leg up. They at least are on a level playing field. Now, I don't know what's going to happen because I'm pretty sure next week is the last episode. Unless this thing is going to go 13. So, but I'm not sure about that. Let me see, actually. Enemies network, enemy list. Oh, actually, no, it is 13. Okay. So, we're going to have 2 more episodes in that regard. So, probably next week, it's the episode before the finale. Hey, it doesn't look good for Sagiri and the other 2. It really doesn't. You guys went right in there without a plan. Or you're just going to go in there and just walk and get them to suicidal. That was the wrong thing to do. I'm like thinking to myself, are you out of your mind? But then again, they don't know. They haven't fought the Tenzin. They don't know. So, hopefully, I'm just saying right now, Shigiri and those 2 are dead. They're dead. There's no way they can get out of this. Mappa, hey, this is a manga, so maybe that's what happens. But regardless of the fact, I like the episode. 10 out of 10. Really good how it was done, how, even like the effects on Chobei, I thought that was cool. And, Gabimaru dodging all those invisible attacks. Because these attacks, you can't see. These Tao attacks. So, really cool stuff. But, I just look at that ending, I'm like, oh, damn, really? You're just going to walk right in there? With no plan? Let me ask you guys' thoughts in the comment section about that ending. Because to me, it looks like they were just a bunch of zombies walking into a meat grinder. But this is about Kanai 22. Gabimaru, he can kick ass now. He knows how to take care of them. So, we'll see what happens next week. I'll see you guys later. Peace.